Hi vinyl community, it's Phil from Western Canada here, and this is my entry into Bill at the Vinylverse, your vinyl community story contest. Congratulations, this is celebrating your second year on YouTube and your 700 subscribers. That's amazing. Right on, Bill, good going. I can't imagine that many subscribers. I think I have 30 something. That's just amazing. Good for you. I heard about this contest from a friend of mine, Bernard Jean, who you know from Hitchin' a Ride. We've been friends for a little while here, and he told me about this. So here comes my entry. You wanted the answer to 4 questions and a bonus, or regarding our interactions and discovery of the vinyl community, which I have been. I've had a YouTube channel for about 2 years, I think I want to say. I didn't actually make videos until about 9 months ago. I got on here because I had just come back from one of our local record swap meets. I apologize for the background, by the way. We've just upended the house because we're getting prepping to sell. So I've been moved my record room down to the basement with all the empty boxes. So I can't really show you anything on my system right now, although it is, my system is set up and I can play music, but it's just a little bit of chaos right now. Sorry, rambling on there. So my introduction to the VC was I just come back from one of our vinyl swap meets, those rooms you get together, everybody sells their albums. You have them all over the place, and I wasn't thrilled with the variety and the number of stands at the little one we had here. So I got on looking up vinyl swap meets. And I was just stunned by the amount of, from all corners of the globe, and the size of some of them, just amazing. Excuse me. And I thought, okay, and you know what YouTube is like, it's a rabbit hole. You start on A, and intending to be on there for 10-15 minutes, and 5 hours later your wife is screaming at you, "Come up, I yelled dinner's ready an hour ago," and you're now on letter Q, and it's just like I said, it's a rabbit hole. You can get lost in YouTube for hours if you're not careful. But I started watching a lot of channels and slowly started subscribing to them, and I found it very interesting. I was just watching and listening and learning a lot, and taking notes and learning about different bands I didn't know about or had heard of and just hadn't experienced. And I just found it really interesting. There are 2 people who prompted me to start making videos, but I'll come to those later on in question number 4, your shoutouts, if that's okay. So that's how I found VC, just more or less by accident. I actually thought it was something you had to join. One of my first messages to one of the fellows who helped me through this inauguration process was, how do I join the vinyl community? I literally thought it was a separate community. I didn't realize it was just people sharing ideas and stories and whatnot. So that's one on me. So your second question was, show VC recommended albums that I have picked up or gotten to like or have purchased. And I'm going to show 4 albums, 2 groups, one of which is Hawkwind, sort of spacey Pink Floydish type group, Tangerine Dreamish type group. I had heard of them vaguely. They have 1,000,001 albums out there. I hadn't heard anything by them. They don't get airplay, so you don't hear them on the radio, and all radio plays now is classic, so they don't play these guys. But I heard of them through 33 1/3 Vinyl, really good channel, and Pete Pardo over at Sea of Tranquility, another really good channel. Both these guys just know a ton of music and are always on there and always willing to share information. And so shout out to both those 2 guys, although they're not my 2 shout outs. So this is from 1971, Hawkwind, In Search of Space. I actually just played this. I'm home for a 5-day de-stress, and we're downsizing at work because of this COVID thing, so I just took a few days off to let them reorganize. I'm manager of my department, so I'm okay from that, but I just needed a few days off to clear my head. This has all been rather overwhelming. And I'm back to work Monday. And this is from 2010. This is Hawkwind, Blood of the Earth, and this is a double album on new vinyl, and this is apparently limited edition. It's colored vinyl, though it's not really colored. It's white vinyl. You can see through it, so I'd say it's opaque. But that's me. I'm being nitpicky. But I haven't played that one yet. I just picked it up a couple of months ago. Haven't had a chance to play it. Like I said, I'm really behind on playing things. And the second band that I learned about through VC, again, I'd heard of them. They're a Canadian band. I've heard one or two songs on radio that get airplay infrequently, but I do hear them, and I do know them when they start up. But I thought, is this all they do? And again, this is a group that has mega amount of albums, and I didn't really develop an interest in them until my friend at Hitchin' a Ride, Bernard Jean, told me about them. So I picked up a few albums and really loved these guys, and that is Saga. Again, a Canadian band from our province of Ontario, and I think that's their debut. It's self-titled, and this one is Silent Night. And they have really cool album covers. The singer has a really unique, outstanding voice. Really cool band, and I'm just really sort of getting into them. And the second one, well, that was my second one, I'm sorry. Your third question, favorite album in collection. Well, not very interesting. My favorite album of all time is Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Everybody has that. There's no point in showing it. So you also said, or a favorite album. And I'm going to show you a couple of different albums that I absolutely love from either end of the spectrum. So one is hard rock and one is jazz. I think you're a jazz fan, Bill, so I hope you appreciate that one. From the hard rock end of it, I'm going to go with my favorite album by this artist, and that's Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. And the album is Good Music. And I don't see Joan Jett getting a lot of love on the VC. I don't really see a lot of people mentioning her. I love her. I've seen her live three times now, and each time it's been better than before. The lady is just a little ball of energy. She doesn't stop. And this one in particular is my favorite album because there isn't a bad song on it, in my opinion. And it's just a great album. This is what I want to put on when I come home from working on stress, and I just want to play air guitar and just blast it loud as I can, and just relax and just de-stress, I should say. This had a few hits. Roadrunner was a great hit. She does a cover of Fun, 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 which is a fun cover. And it's the production of this album that makes it stand out in her catalog to me. All her albums have been a little bit raw, a little bit unpolished, sort of like my videos. But this one, the production on this thing is so crystal clear. It's just absolutely impeccable. I'm not sure who produced this. This was Tom Swift, assistant associate producer. It doesn't say who actually produced it. I think it's Kenny Laguna. But just a fantastic album. The sound is crystal clear. You feel like you could have walked into that studio, and if a pin had dropped, they would have been able to isolate it and put it on this album. It's just real pleasure to listen to. Really clean sound. And from the jazz end of it, this is my go-to album for when I come home and I just want to peace and quiet and sit back and relax and fall asleep to an album, but really enjoy it still. And that's by Bob James. And this is the Genie. It's the theme music from Taxi. And everyone thinks, oh, well, the theme from Taxi, that must take a whole 45, seconds. Well, there's a whole lot of background music in that show, which you may or may not be familiar with, depending on your age. But there's a lot of music in that show, and he does it all, and they're all full-length songs. This is the background of it, back cover. And it's a really fantastic album. It's really fun music. It's just great to sit back and listen to and relax and drift away. You can close your eyes and not a care in the world. And this is just really fantastic, cool music. Bob James is brilliant. But of all of the albums, I think this has got to be my favorite. Again, that's The Genie. And if you don't have that, I really recommend you give it a try. Again, those late nights, you just want to turn the lights out and forget everything. My go-to album, other than The Night Fly by Donald Fagen. Question 4, Shoutouts. Well, this is easy. There are two people who got me into this and convinced me that I could do a video and that I could get through this, because I'm a shy person. I'm an introvert. And for me to get on here and expose myself and do videos and put myself out there for criticism, whatever, is unusual, all my friends would tell you. So the two people that are really responsible, and one of them I've become a very close friend with, and that is Jean Bernard at Hitchin' a Ride, his channel is called. Check it out. He's a great guy from our La Belle Province of Quebec in Canada. Really put me at ease about this whole process, and I had a great VCLT from him, the only VCLT I've experienced from anybody, and it was just a real blast to open a package from somebody that you actually haven't actually met, but really fun. And he's the one who introduced me to Saga, and he sent me a couple of albums, and he also sent me a Queen album. I don't think I can. Oh yeah, I can lay my hands on. He sent me Innuendo because he knew Queen is my favorite band, and I didn't have that one. Fantastic. I love that album. So thank you very much, Bernard at Hitchin' a Ride. Great channel. Check him out, please, if you don't know him. And my other shout out is to Mama Bear Vinyl, Cindy. She's another introvert, and she was going on about her experience of making her first video, and how her husband was amazed that she would actually do this as well. And yeah, if you don't understand, it's out of our comfort area. People, maybe, I don't know, I can't speak for Cindy, but for myself, it's a bit out of my comfort zone to sit here and put a camera on me and try and look my best. And I'm no oil painting, but to put myself out there like that, this is and she got me over that little hump too. She's, just do it, just go for it. And to anybody watching who may or may not have done a video though, just do it. It's fun. Once you get over the initial hang up, pardon me, of putting yourself on camera and doing it, it's easy and it's fun. Now, I only have 30-odd subscribers. I haven't checked recently. I'm not the most active channel. I go on more watching other people and making notes and learning than I do making videos on my own channel. But, when I do come out and make a video, it's nice to get a few responses. I have a few loyal people who make comments every time and offer a little bit of support, and that's really cool. If I can get one person to watch and be a loyal supporter, then that's fine with me. As long as I'm not sitting there talking to myself. And then I hear about people like Bill, and I heard about people like Robert Z, another great channel. Although I think he's done with his channel now. He had a little bit too much negative feedback for his like. And so, if you are watching, just remember that these people who put themselves out here may or may not be very comfortable in doing it. And they're really risking something of their own psyche to do this. And that's really about all I can say. So any positive comments you can make to somebody, if you don't like the video, just don't watch it. Just turn it off, go to the next one. There's no need to bring somebody down with negative comments. And both Mama Bear Vinyl and Bernard at Hitchin' a Ride and Robert Z were all very supportive and very very gung-ho behind you. Make a video, make a video. So shout out to all those 3 people. And for your bonus, Bill, I have actually sat in the background and watched your channel for quite a long time, and I have made note of some of the albums you've recommended as well. Your big thing is Genesis, and I'm already somewhat of a Genesis fan, and I have some albums. But the answer to your questions are for the bonus. Your favorite album is Duke, and your favorite song on that is Duchess. I remember that because I saw that video not that long ago, actually, before Bernard told me about your channel and your contest. And I thought, well, this is silly. I should just subscribe. So I have subscribed to you, and I probably wouldn't have if Bernard hadn't told me, about your contest. So you can have another shout out to Bernard there. Sorry, man, I'm throwing your name everywhere here, Bernard. And I think that's it. I got no more questions to answer, and I think I've said it all. I've gone on about 14 minutes here. I don't like to make these videos too long. Nobody wants to hear me drone on all that long. So, Bill, I hope you enjoy this. I'll leave a little comment under your video to let you know I've entered. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you found it interesting. And good luck with your contest, and hope you get to 800 subscribers soon. Excuse me, and I will keep watching your channel. Thank you.